Alright, in this video we'll be going over investigation 3.1. So how can we use proportions to find various percentages? So let's do a quick recap of percent. Percent means out of 100, and this is a part to whole ratio, or part to whole comparison. So here we're going to practice converting from percentages to decimal. You can think of 50% as 50 out of 100, which reduces down to 0.5. Okay. Again, same thing for 75%, 75 divided by 100, or 0.75. You can think of it as just moving the decimal 2 spots over. So if I move this 2 spots over, this would be 0.34. If I move it 2 over, this would be 1. And 120% would be 1.2. Here we're going backwards, starting with the decimal and going back to percents. If I move it 2 spots to the right this time, it will be 62%. 0.15 is 15%. 0.98 is 98%, 0.87 is 87%, and 1.112 is 100%, and 12%, which is 112%. So here, out of 100 people, 29% have blue eyes. How many people have blue eyes? So right now, the whole amount of people is equal to 100%. And if I scale this down to 29%, right? If I scale this down to 29%, 100 scales down to 29. So 29 have blue eyes. This example is pretty easy since the 100 matches the percent. But what happens when we change this number? So for example, out of 40 people, 50% of them are boys. So if 100% of the people is 40, again, all 40 people represents 100%, I'm going to cut this percentage in half to 50%. And notice that I cut the amount of people in half as well. So half of the percent, half of the people, 20 people are going to be boys. All right. So now let's go ahead and try to figure out some of these percentages problems. So here, sales tax is 8% of the price. So how much are we paying for a $75 jacket? So here, $75 is worth the original 100%. And I want to figure out 8% of this. So I'm going to scale 100 down to 8%. Oops. And it looks like I'm paying an extra $6. So how much am I paying in total? So if originally it's 75 and I'm adding a $6 tax, right, because that's 8%, I'm paying a total of $81 altogether. All right. Another way of figuring out this problem is by finding the unit rate, which happens to be 1%. And the nice thing about this is, in order to scale down from 100% down to 1%, all you need to do is divide by 100, right? 100 divided by 100 gets down to 1%. And all we're doing is just moving the decimal 2 spots over. This would be 0.75. Or sorry, 0.75 over 1. And since I'm scaling it down to 0.75, if this is 1%, if I want 8%, I can just do times 8, and now I'm at 8%. And notice that this is the same as what we had over here, right? 8% is $6. Again, we scaled down to 1%. Here's 1%. And from 1%, I did to 8%. So that's going to be our process, scaling down to 1%, and then from 1%, figuring out the other percentage. So what's the unit rate? What's 1%? So if a game costs $40, again, I can do 40 over 100. 1% is going to be 0.4. But I don't want 1%, I want 6%. So let's do times 6. So 6% is $2.40. So if I add it up, $40 plus the $2.40, I'm paying in total $42.40, right? That's the game plus the 6% tax. All right, here we know that 45 questions, 45 questions is worth 100%, and I need at least 70% in order to pass the test. So let's figure out 1%. All right, let's do 45 questions divided by 100%. So 1% of the problem is 0.545. But I don't need 1%, I need 70%. So let's times that by 70. So I need to get at least 31.5 questions correct in order to pass the test. Okay. So a car dealership they increased the original worth of the car by 12% to make a profit. This is called the markup. So if the car is originally worth $6,000, what's the unit rate? What's 1%? So again, I'm starting with $6,000, and I'm dividing it by 100%. So 1% of the price is going to be $60. Again, if this is 1%, I'm going to change 1% up to 12% times 12 to get to 12%. So 12% is worth $720. And so the total cost would be the original price plus an extra $720. So they sell the car at a little bit higher price so that they can earn a profit. Okay, so a pair of shoes that normally sells for $55 is on sale for 20% off. So what's the unit rate? Was 1%. Again, I can take 55 divided by 100%, which is 0.55. And this is only 1%, but I want 20%. So let's scale this back up to 20%. And from here, I'm discounting $11. So I'm taking the $55, taking away $11. And so the shoe is only worth $44, right? I'm getting a discount. The price is cheaper than what it was before. So how can we use percentages to find proportions to find various percentages? We can scale down to 1%. And from 1%, scale to any percent we need. Right, so that's our strategy for scaling down. Scale down to the unit rate to 1%, and from 1%, all you need to do is multiply to get to any other percent. So here, let's go and do some practice. We can peel 4 potatoes in 10 minutes. How long will it take to peel 14 potatoes? So again, we want to figure out how long it takes, so time is going to go on top. So our original ratio is 10 to 4. If I want to find the scale factor, I'm going to scale it down by dividing by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1 on the bottom. 10 divided by 4 is 2.5. So it takes 2.5 minutes for 1 potato times 14 potatoes. It'll take 35 minutes for 14 potatoes. All right, you can read the book in 45 pages. You can read 45 pages in 2 hours. How many pages can you read in 3 hours? And we're trying to figure out how many pages, so we're going to leave pages on top. 45 to 2 is our original ratio. To scale it down to 1, we're going to divide the top and bottom by 2. So again, 2 divided by 2, we're down to our unit weight, 1. And 45 divided by 2 is 22.5. So I can do 1 hour, I can read 22.5 pages. But if I want 3 hours times 3, in 3 hours, we're going to read 67.5 pages. Right. 9 out of 10 students prefer lunch over math class. How many students prefer lunch if 200 students were asked? So again, our ratio is 9 to 10 total students, 9 to 10. Let's go and figure out our unit rate. Divide both sides by 10. Divide by 10, divide by 10. Our unit rate for every 1 student, about 0.9 of them prefer lunch. So with 0.9 prefer lunch, to scale this up to 200 times 200, so about 180 students prefer lunch. All right, you estimate that you can do 12 math problems in 45 minutes. How long would it take you to do 20 math problems? And we're trying to figure out how long, so we want time on top. Figure out how long we need. So our ratio is 45 to 12. All right, to scale this down, I'm going to turn 12 down to 1. Divide by 12, divide by 12. So 12 divided by 12, we have our unit rate. We're down to 1. And 45 divided by 12, let's see. Sorry, give me 1 second. 45 divided by 12, 3.75. Okay. Oops. All right. So I can do 1 problem in 3.75 minutes. And if I want to scale this back up to 20 problems times 20, so it'll take me 75 minutes to do all these problems. Okay. Here, a girl makes 12 foul shots for every 8 that she misses, or she makes 12 for every 8 that she misses. How many shots does she make if she misses 125? So we're trying to figure out how many shots she made, so that's going to stay on top. 12 over 8 is our original ratio. All right, what is our unit rate? We need to divide both sides by 8. So 12 divided by 8, let's see. 12 divided by 8, 1.5. Oops. So 12 divided by 8, that's going to be 1.5 to 1. And if this is how much if I make 1.5 shots for every 1 I miss, if I miss 125 shots, that's going to be, I would have made 187.5 shots. Okay, let's see. A ratio of girls to boys is 6 to 4. How many girls if there are 360 total students? So a ratio of 6 to 4. You might think the ratio is 6 to 4, but again, we know that the total amount of students is 360. So this is actually a ratio of 6 to 10. 6 girls to 10 total students. So let's scale this down by dividing by 10. Divided by 1. All right, so I know that for every 1 student, about 0.6 of them are girls. So if I scale this up to 360, we're going to have 216 girls out of the 360. All right, hope this video was helpful. Any questions, let me know.